Hello, today I'd like to talk to you about reparations. Reparations, don't start, stop. There's a lot of conversation swirling about as to whether or not African Americans should receive reparations. I'm here before you today to say that I believe that African Americans should receive reparations. What are reparations? It's an amends for a wrong done, trying to rectify a wrong or compensate for a wrong, either financially or in helps. So now that we know what reparations are, I want to talk about who deserves reparations. First of all, reparations are deserved by Africans who were kidnapped from the continent of Africa, their descendants, their ancestry, those who were kidnapped from the continent of Africa and brought to another country, namely today we're talking about America, and enslaved upon arrival. So the descendants of those people that were kidnapped from the continent of Africa deserve reparations, no matter how many years or generations that have passed. Today, those descendants deserve reparations. Why? Because their ancestors built this country, and even today, because of certain laws, African Americans are still unequitably leased, enslaved because of discrimination and discriminatory laws. So what do we want? The reason I say don't start, stop, because we don't need new laws. We need the laws that are already made to be followed. Don't start making new laws. Stop breaking the laws that are currently in place. First of all, redlining. Stop redlining, drawing lines around neighborhoods, further enslaving or discriminating against blacks, African Americans, preventing them from economic resources, from finances, from buying and building homes, having a legacy of a home and wealth in the land. Stop preventing loans. Stop preventing us from building businesses. We are capable and competent. We don't need you to start anything. We need you to stop preventing, stop blocking, stop discriminating against our children by segregating them to deny resources in the school systems. We all pay taxes. So it's not a handout. It's not welfare. We all pay taxes. It's mandatory. It's the law. We just need you to stop breaking the law and withholding resources from our children in public schools oftentimes, and giving our tax dollars to private schools oftentimes, which are predominantly white. We need you to stop doing that, giving our public funds to private institutions. We need you to stop that, because if you just use the money that we pay in taxes, our children would have the resources. They would have the education that they need to excel. We have the intelligence. We have the competence. We just need you to stop blocking, stop preventing. Okay, we need you to stop with the pipeline to prison processes that are implemented. Used to be secretly, behind the scenes, but now it's common knowledge that the students, when they're in the schools, they're set on certain tracks of learning where a certain group of people are given higher learning opportunities, and other groups of people, namely black people, are put in or restrained from taking higher level classes and denied certain educational rights, so that they will be on track to be imprisoned later and have challenges later with their education, not being aware of certain things. And as we know, people cheat, but we need you to stop with the injustice in the laws. Where one race of people, it's not even another race, and one color of people receive leniency when it comes to the justice system, and another group of people are over-criminalized. Stop criminalizing our color. Stop with the stop and frisk. Stop with the pipeline to prison, stop with the 3-strike rule, stop with mass incarceration. All that is buzzwords for discrimination and blocking of Black people. Stop with the first. This is the first. Black people didn't get intelligent just because they were kidnapped and brought to this continent and all of a sudden they obtain intelligence or competence. We hail from Africa, the continent, the cradle of civilization, where the pyramids were built. The strategy, the intelligence, the competence that was required for that, people today still don't know how. They can't figure out how the pyramids were built. We came from Africa, the motherland, the center of creation where God created man in the Garden of Eden, So all people basically, have some kind of heritage from Africa, but not all people were kidnapped. Not all people were kidnapped, but the people that were kidnapped and brought to this land, they deserve reparations. Their descendants deserve reparations. We need you to stop with the false narrative in the media that black people are less intelligent, or we descended from animals. God created man, and that evolution theory that you're promoting in the education system and in the schools, forcing it down the throat of our children is so that they can doubt themselves that they are created in the image of God. We all are human beings and we deserve rights, certain inalienable rights, that God created us equal. All men are created equal. So stop with, we need to vote whether or not you're a citizen, you have the right to vote, that you have certain rights for being here. When the people were kidnapped and brought here against their will and beaten and abused and enslaved and profited off of, and our culture and our heritage was hijacked from our lips to our noses, to our hair, to our breasts, to our butts, everything, our music hijacked for the profit of someone else. So just because you hijack and copyright and put your stamp on it that it was originated by you, we all know that the Black culture is a highly valued culture. We are competent, we are intelligent, we come from royalty, and we need you to just stop blocking. We don't need any new handouts. If you stop blocking our money and stealing our money, charging higher interest rates in the banks and the financial institutions, taxing us at higher levels, segregating us into neighborhoods where there are deserts for food and deserts for finances and deserts for hospitals. If you don't have a grocery store, hospital, in your neighborhood, you have to always go to somebody else's neighborhood in order to get what you need. That's just like on the plantation when people were leased lands and sharecropping, and at the end of the week, by the time the taskmaster tallied up all the bills, somehow it never quite figured out that you had anything left. There was nothing left. So that's just another fancy way of stealing and usury. So we don't need new laws. We need you to stop breaking the current laws. Stop murdering our people and without any consequence. Stop murdering our people without consequence. And I understand that, we teach our children, don't talk a certain way to those in authority, the police officers, the way you put your eyes, where you put your hand on the dash, your demeanor, never raise your voice, never elevate or question the police officer. I understand respect, but parents, please understand that sundown towns are real. Sundown towns are real. And even though you might not see it on your current books, there are laws that say if a Black person is caught in a town after sundown, the citizens of that town have a right to incarcerate him or kill him. Those sundown towns are real today. There are laws in the book that the laws that were on the books that said that a black man could not look a white man in the eye, and that was cause for kidnap, incarceration, or killing. So there are certain laws, Jim Crow laws, that may not be on a book that you can see, but they're real. So let's stop making our kids feel guilty that they have to acquiesce to abuse. Respect is one thing. Cockiness is another thing. Confidence is one thing. Cockiness is another thing. So these police officers with badges are moving past confidence to cockiness and arrogance. To have your knee on somebody's neck as they cry out for their mother and you have no conscience, that's evil. That's demonic. So stop. We don't need you to start anything new and act confused about reparations. There's no confusion about it. Other cultures have received reparations. Stop playing dumb. Stop with the deflection. Stop with the deflection. African Americans deserve reparations. Don't start. Just stop.